Hello everybody. Okay, we'll start with today's class, which is about indirect questions. Indirect questions are very important and very common in dialogues that need polite formal language. So when we deal with customer service, it's really important that we use these indirect questions more than the common direct questions that we are used to using in other contexts. So if we take a look at this dialogue, this is model analysis 2. We already saw this in class 2. It's full of indirect questions, yes? Like, for example, could you explain exactly what the problem is? Can you tell me what type of rooms you booked? Can I have your name? Can you tell me what number of rooms we've given you? Do you remember who checked you in? Could you take a seat for a moment? All these are indirect questions, and they sense a more polite tone for the conversation. So let's take a look at the grammar focus that you will find under this unit, this specific class. There are two ways to ask questions in English: directly and indirectly. They both have the same meaning, but we use indirect questions if we want to sound more formal or polite, especially when we are talking to people that we do not know. Those who work in customer care sometimes deal with angry customers, so it is a good idea to try to sound as polite, as formal as possible. So let's see these notes and let's try to make a difference between direct and indirect questions. So these are direct questions. They're basically two types: yes/no questions and open questions that take WH words or how. So in yes/no questions, as you can see, here we have some examples. Is it Friday today? No, it isn't. Are you free this evening? Yes, I am. Can you come with us? Yes, I can. Do you know where it is? Yes, I do. Does it open late? Yes, it does, until midnight, if you want to clarify. Will we take a taxi? Yes, we probably will. So these questions lead to a short positive or negative answer, okay? And then the other type of questions, of direct questions, are WH questions or open questions. They usually start with a WH word or with how. What is available at a reasonable price? What kind of holiday are you looking for? Where would you like to go? When will you be free? What time is the flight? Which terminal does it leave from? Who is the group leader? How many people are going? How much does it cost? How long does the flight last? How soon will we arrive? Then on the other hand, we have indirect questions. They usually start with a short introductory phrase, like, for example, can you tell me when the museum opens? Do you know where the station is? As we can see, these indirect questions start with an introductory phrase, and then they follow a word order that is the same as the statement, as the word order in a statement. So when we deal with indirect questions, we will have the introductory phrase, then the subject, and then the verb in the tense of the sentence. So here are some introductory phrases like can or could you tell me or show me, do you know, would you mind telling me, or would you mind showing me? Do you have any idea? I was wondering. I wonder if you would mind telling me, or I wonder if you would mind showing me. These introductory phrases are followed by either a question word such as what, who, when, where, how, or by if or whether, and then the information that we want to know. The word order changes from the order of a direct question. Indirect questions have the same word order as statements, that is, as positive or negative sentences. So let's look at these examples. The direct question is, where is the photocopier? The indirect question would be, do you know where the photocopier is? In this case, we see an introductory phrase, do you know? Then we have the same information that we want to know, where the photocopier is, but the difference is that instead of using verb plus subject as we do in a direct question, the order is the same as a statement, subject plus verb. Let's see another example. What time is it? Then the indirect question would be, could you tell me what time it is? So as you see, there's a bit of a difference in the word order between direct and indirect questions. Now, if we are making an indirect question from a direct question which already contains a word, like what, who, when, where, or how, we keep the same word, the same question word. The direct question can be, what is the dress code in the office? So the indirect question would be, could you tell me what the dress code is in the office? If the indirect question doesn't have a question word, then we have to use if or whether in the indirect question. We can use these interchangeably, although if is a little more informal. So the direct question is the coffee for everyone? In this case, the indirect question would be, could you tell me if the coffee is for everyone? Could you tell me whether the coffee is for everyone? So they have the same meaning, but whether is more formal. Now, if we take a look again at model analysis 2, you will see that it has indirect questions, and let's see which direct questions they correspond to. So the first one, could you explain exactly what the problem is? Would be, what's the problem? Then, if we say, can you tell me what type of rooms you booked? That's an indirect question. So the direct question would be, what types of rooms did you book? Then, in the case of, can I have your name? The direct question would be, what's your name? Let's take a look at this one. Can you tell me what number rooms we've given you? In this case, it would be, what number rooms have we given you? In the case of, do you remember who checked you in? Then the direct version of this question would be, who checked you in? And then finally, could you take a seat for a moment? Would become, take a seat for a moment. As you see, there is a great difference between using direct and indirect questions. And indirect questions sound so much more polite and formal than direct questions. It's not okay to ask a client or a customer, what's your name? We usually have indirect questions for that. Can I have your name? The same as if you ask, what's the problem? In that case, it's not okay just to ask directly, what's the problem? So we use an indirect question that will make it sound softer and more polite. Could you explain exactly what the problem is? So consider this. Read the ebook again and the information there, and then you can move on to do the exercises in the virtual classroom.